Hello and welcome to my extremely subjective review of the Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay in 2024. The Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay was originally released on June 2004 on original Xbox and PC by Starbreeze Studios, the developers of such games as The Darkness, Syndicate, and most recent the Payday series. In 2009, the game was re-released on PC, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3, and was included in the Chronicles of Riddick Assault on Dark Athena, with updated visuals, and also this is the version that I will be reviewing. The game protagonist Riddick, voiced by actor Vin Diesel, originally comes from Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick films. Besides being the voice actor for the game, protagonist Vin Diesel also contributed heavily to the game's plot and character design. The entire game plays out just before the first Riddick film, Pitch Black. The Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay story puts you in the shoes of Richard B. Riddick, a convicted murderer that was captured by a bounty hunter William J. Johns and is being transported to a maximum security prison called Butcher Bay. The game starts with a sequence where Riddick immediately pulls off a successful escape into the desert, but it turns out that the entire escape sequence was only a dream, and escaping from Butcher Bay will be much more difficult. After Riddick wakes up, Bounty Hunter Jones passes on Riddick to a Butcher Bay warden called Huxley and his prison guard Abbott. Riddick is then escorted to his cell for a healthy dose of delousing. Without me spoiling too much of the story, the rest of the game is about Riddick trying to escape from Butcher Bay by getting help from other inmates, fighting different prison gangs, and killing anybody that gets in his way. The main story of the game is divided between upper prison area and a subterranean mining area. The story of the Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay is a typical escape from a prison story, but set in the futuristic sci-fi setting. The story is interesting enough on its own, but what really sells it is well-written and colorful characters. I always enjoy prison movies, and this game has similar feeling to great prison movies like Escape from Alcatraz and Tango and Cash. The Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay just oozes with amazing atmosphere and immerses its player from the beginning until the very end of the game. The players can learn about the world from interacting and talking with many well-written and interesting characters, but also by exploring the prison and listening to conversations between different characters. The players are also able to get immersed into gritty and brutal world of Butcher Bay because of the minimalistic and non-intrusive HUD UI design. Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay is a first-person stealth game with some ranged and melee combat. The game has great pacing and is well balanced between stealth and fighting sections. In the stealth sections, you will either sneak past the enemies or silently take down or kill the enemies that are in your way. Early in the game, you will also acquire Eye Shine ability, which will help you to see in the dark and is very useful while sneaking. You're also able to turn off or even shoot some of the lights in the environment, which can help you a lot in the sneaking portions of the game, especially because most of the enemies will not be able to see you in the dark. Sneaking around works well enough, for the most part, but there are also times when enemies get alerted to your presence even though they shouldn't have, and that can cause some frustration, especially because of the game have only checkpoint system and no manual save to speak of. What makes it even worse is that game is very inconsistent with its checkpoints. Sometimes you will get 2 checkpoints almost immediately, one after the other, and sometimes there will be no checkpoint for almost half an hour. The fighting section is divided between fighting with melee weapons and shooting with ranged weapons. When it comes to melee weapons, you will be able to use bare fists, knuckle dusters, shanks or sheaves, and clubs. In shooting section, you can use shotguns, assault rifles, tranquilizer gun, and briefly even pilot a mech with dual-wielding machine guns. Weapon selection in the game is quite slim, especially on the range side, where for the big chunk of the game, you can only use shotgun and assault rifle. Shooting and melee combat is good enough, but nothing too amazing. Start the game with 4 health bars, but during the game you will find multiple health stations which will give you 1 health bar each. When you get hurt in combat, you can recover your health by using nanomed machines, which can be found throughout the game. Each nanomed machine can heal up to 4 health bars, but there are also items that can refill the nanomed machine so that you can use it again. Besides fighting the enemies and sneaking around, you will also explore brutal Butcher Bay prison. There are upper and lower prison areas where you can talk to other inmates, fight in the prison arena, and take on many different side quests that game have to offer. When it comes to enemies, you will be able to fight with other inmates, prison guards, mechs, but also zombie-looking creatures in the pit and the alien or xeno creatures in the mines. The Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay has this minimalistic and gritty art design from the early 2000s that I really like. There isn't much clutter in the world, and you can clearly see everything in the environment. The design of Butcher Bay prison itself is amazing. It has this brutal and cold feeling to it because everything is made either of concrete or metal. And if that is not enough, there is also this even colder looking mine section. The lighting and shadows quality is great, which is important part of any stealth game. The game is almost 20 years old today, but considering that, I think that graphics have held up quite well. Ambient sound design is great. The game can be quiet when it needs to be, so that you can clearly hear footsteps of the enemies, and that will give you feeling that you are the predator. The gun sound design is what you would expect from the first-person shooter from this period, which can be a little disappointing because the game is set in the futuristic settings and the guns sound like a standard shotguns or assault rifles of today. All voice acting in the game is amazing, and they also have some famous actors like Vin Diesel, Ron Perlman, and even rapper Exhibit. Music in the game is amazing and on the same level as in a Hollywood action blockbuster movie. The Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay is a pretty short game compared to the games today, but the game is well paced and it doesn't overstay its welcome. To complete the main story without doing any side content will take about 8 hours, more or less, but if you wish to gather all cigarette packages and complete every side quest in the game, then that will take you around 13 hours. The price for the game in 2024 can vary quite a bit depending on which version you want to buy. If you want to buy original version of the Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay that came out on original Xbox and PC, then you can get Xbox copy for as low as $7. The PC version is much more expensive, and I was able to find a copy for around $30. The other version that you can buy is the one that was included in the Chronicles of Riddick Assault on Dark Athena, and was released on the PC, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. I was able to find the PC version for around $38, while the PlayStation 3 was a little cheaper at $28, and the Xbox 360 being the most expensive one at $64. The digital version of the game that was previously sold on GOG and Steam are not sold anymore on those platforms. The Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay original version is only available on original Xbox and PC. If you want to play Xbox version, you can either do that on original Xbox console or by using Xbox emulator on the PC. The PC version can be hard to run properly on modern systems, so you will need to do a lot of tweaking. But I would recommend not to bother with the original version and just play instead the version that was included in the Chronicles of Riddick Assault on Dark Athena. That version is available on PC, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. The PC version works very well on the modern systems without needing to do any configuration at all. When it comes to Xbox 360 version, unfortunately, you can only play it on Xbox 360 console because the game is not backwards compatible. The same thing applies for the PlayStation 3 version because the game is not available on PlayStation Plus Premium. But if for some reason you do not want to play PC version on a PC and wish to play either Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 version, but don't have those consoles, then you can do that on the PC by using Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 emulator. The Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay is a great game with a unique setting and amazing atmosphere. I really like the character of Riddick and I enjoy my time with the game a lot. The gameplay is well balanced between stealth, fighting, and talking or gathering information from different characters. With that said, I would give this game 8 out of 10. It's a great game and a cool classic for a reason. This will be it for my review of the Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay, so I want to thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe.